What's going on, and welcome on into Thursday, September 7th. We've got a trade recap. Today was a green day. I have some stuff to do. I've got some appointments later on today. So it's 9:17 and I am done for the day. 9:17. I think that's probably a good thing given my history of when I stick around, I tend to lose more. Just kind of anecdotally, yet to really be able to tell too much in the data, but we're tracking that here at TradeZella. So P&L of $60 on the day. This was a 50% day. We had one winner and we had one loser. On a day like this, if you can finish green, in my opinion, that's pretty good. So with that said, the trades were on Meta, and let's cover that. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If I get out of this, you can see that the month has just begun. We've got a total of 9 trades this month. We are at a 33% win rate. And we are down 165, which is not that bad, to be honest. And our average win-loss is pretty good. I mean, for me, this number above 1 is what I'm looking for. I had previously had it in months in the past below 1. It's now come back above 1 pretty consistently now, so I'm happy with that. And I think that this trade execution will kind of show you what I'm looking for and what I mean and all that stuff. So the idea here comes from Meta. It's breaking up to the upside here. Why? Meta's in this consolidation the past couple of weeks, past couple of days. What we can look at, though, first is that the S&P is down. Like, SPY has been weak over the same span of time compared to Meta. So I'm on TradingView. I'm going to go over to Webull now and show you the actual executions or the contracts I traded. So you can see that SPY is weak. Meta has been consolidating and actually trending up. So it's actually got some relative strength. That's all I want to see. Relative strength versus SPY. That's why I've been liking the individual stocks so much more lately, because I don't have to think about, I don't have to worry too much about all these outside factors other than relative strength. So I'm looking for relative strength or weakness. And at the time, the market had kind of been bouncing. Look at this, all these lows on the 1 hour chart. Past 3 hours, we can't drop below that 443 area. So SPY keeps kind of bouncing up. Now it's weak, yes, but it kind of keeps bouncing up off that. So we don't have the overall context of the market trending in our direction, but we've got Meta with some really good relative strength, which to me said, okay, if I'm going to trade today, I want to see breakdowns, and I was not seeing any breakdowns across the stocks I trade or stocks pressuring lows. They weren't doing that. They kind of dipped at the open, then bounced and have been substantially higher above those opening print lows or that first 10-minute low. So that's why I was like, I want to go long, if anything here, if SPY stays or at least holds up. And so you're seeing right now, this trade was a monster. Could have been a much bigger trade, but I mean, I'm going to take my piece and move on, which I'm happy with. So the first trade was actually me getting in on this candle right here. It wasn't perfect. Looking back, I would have liked to have had this candle on the 940 candle at least be a bit stronger or be closer towards the highs that we established on the 935 candle, which I'm looking at now on Webull. I played the break above those highs right here, and as long as we held VWAP, I was staying in. We soon broke below VWAP, and I got out pretty quick. The next candle, though, we had some really nice volume or better volume, and then big break to the upside. I got back in there because then it's like, okay, really clear to me. This is a key level of resistance. We break above that again, I want to get in. And looking back too, look at this volume. So the candle that I got stopped out on the original trade has very low volume, which tells me there's not a lot of conviction behind that move. It could totally go lower, but that's it doesn't tell me to immediately get in. That's another kind of piece of the puzzle. Oh, maybe I want to get long here because there are not a ton of sellers, or the pressure to the downside is not super strong. So volume comes back in a little bit stronger, and we break to the upside, see a big move, boom. Now, I originally got out on my first position, my first contract. I had 2 contracts. I got out of the first one once we had this double top break right here, quickly hit my fill, which was around 12%. I look for 10 plus, and once I see 10 plus, I'm looking to be actively taking profits. If I don't get 10 plus percent, it's probably not worth it. And I trade next Friday contracts. So if it's this week, okay, which is something that I determined last month after looking at my data, if it is this week, I will trade next Friday's contracts, no matter what. If it's Friday, I'm still trading the next Friday's contracts. If it's Monday, I'm still trading the next Friday's contracts. That's how I'm playing it, no matter what. That's the rule. That's it. Rare circumstance, will I trade the next monthly expiration, which might be like 2 weeks out, but I think that I found that next Friday is the perfect optimal time for me, risk rewards and stuff like that. So I then have to back my way into what's my risk. The first thing I look for is risk. So I say, okay, at this VWAP is my risk. And on these contracts, that would be about 10, 11%. So I size in accordingly to make that 10, 11% equal about $100. I will risk about $100 per trade, and I'm looking to make more, ideally, in a perfect trade. And so the first trade loses $100. We can go back to TradeZella, and we can track that exactly right here. First trade, pop her open, lost $100 exactly. The next trade makes $160, okay? So first sell or first take profit ends up being somewhere up in here. And then the next take profit was on this same candle, I believe, somewhere up in there. Big move, very, very large move. This thing went 20+% in my favor very, very quickly. I had entered at 425 on the contracts. The contracts just hit a high of 631. So do the math. 425 is right about here. And 631 is now about 50% higher from where we currently trade on these contracts. So that's a pretty big move. I know I was kind of covering, or I'm kind of covering the option here. If I move this over a bit, you can kind of see. This is the chart on the right-hand side of the option contracts. These are the Meta 305 calls for September 15th, 2023. That's what I look at there. And that's what I traded on Webull. So that's how it is. That's how it's done. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't need this anymore. Actually, I'll just show you guys really quick. P&L at the top of the screen. I know it's not covered. Days P&L 59.49 after some fees. Realized P&L 59.49 after those fees. So $60 is what it tracks, or what I track in TradeZella, minus a few cents in fees. We made $59.50, give or take. So that right there is today's trade recap. These two trades, the first trade was kind of borderline my strategy. The second trade, the reason why I also liked it is it was the $300 level. I was looking, I want to be long above 300 on Meta. If Meta's below 300, I don't want to play longs, and that also coincided with $300 or just north of $300. So that's why I kind of got a little antsy on the first trade, but still had the risk in tight. It ends up stopping me out. We come back, hit on the second trade, big, nice move. In a perfect world, it could have been a $160 winning day, but it isn't. Still, I'm gonna take these odds. I'm gonna take these numbers, bigger picture over the long term. As long as I don't deviate from my strategy, I will take those numbers. I will take this average win loss. It's now about staying to the strategy and really kind of making sure we are not trading extra, right? And not sitting around doing stupid stuff when the market's not aligned best with our strategy and with momentum. If we're just chopping around, we're not near relative lows or relative highs, there shouldn't be trades anyway. I got to do a better job of that. And my plan is, on days where I recognize that first 30 minutes, I'll let play out. If no trades occur in that first 30 minutes and I don't see anything that potentially look good, I will then set some alerts on the most or the relatively strong or weak stocks at or near lows or near highs, near some areas of interest, if you will, some resistance or support levels. I'll set some alerts just shy and just, around those levels, and then close out the platform and then do other work that I have to do for that day to minimize just the sitting here and the FOMO and the feeling like I need to trade and stuff like that, which is the plan. So that's where we're at. Hope this was helpful. I'll leave links to TradeZella and all the other resources that I use in the video description box. Like always, make sure you are subscribed if you want more videos like this. Well, we got them pretty much every single day that I trade. So hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.